I have observed the policeman who occasionally comes through our hallways at the school in which I teach, and I've wondered at the equipment that he's wearing. He must carry an extra 30 pounds with him. He's well armed. He carries a handgun, a taser, some spare ammunition, a pair of handcuffs. He wears a bulletproof vest. He carries a baton and a radio. He has a cell phone. He's also equipped with a first aid kit, a flashlight, a body camera, and pepper spray. He's well prepared for any situation, expected or unexpected. The Apostle Paul admonished Christians at Ephesus that the conflict was spiritual, not physical. We are confronted by powers of darkness and the spiritual forces of evil originating from the spiritual world. And Paul tells us to be strong in his mighty power and put on the full armor of God. And then he says, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. Paul was referring to the belt worn by Roman soldiers. Attached to the belt was a sword, a rope, a sack of food, a leather pouch containing money, and a dagger or a knife. The Roman soldier was ready for hand-to-hand combat, well-trained, well-prepared, equipped for survival. It is the belt of truth that holds everything together for modern-day Christians. The belt of truth that contains all that is necessary for us to fight and win spiritual battles with our enemy. And there is no victory without truth. Christ must be central in our lives, and without our survival belt, we're just empty suits, empty vessels. We're incompetent and unskilled soldiers participating in a conflict in which we will surely be destroyed. The world will run to us for answers like a child who is in danger might run to a policeman. If we are not girded with the belt of truth, we have no answers for them. My daughter and I were traveling through LaGrange, our hometown, when we stopped at a 5-point intersection. A man was standing on a corner with a microphone and a set of speakers, and he was preaching to those who passed by. And I certainly admired his effort, but I questioned the effectiveness of his method. We can shout truth from the mountaintops, but more importantly, we must live truth in our personal lives. It's not so much the words we say, it is the life we live. Others are much more deeply affected when they observe the peace that we enjoy and the ultimate satisfaction that we experience when we live biblical truth. God's counterpart is Satan, and the counterpart to God's truth is Satan's lies. Many have known the misery of living a lie. The 9th of the 10 Commandments instructs us that we are not to lie. Christ warns us not to tell a lie, nor are we to live a lie. You know how the telling of one lie leads to the telling of more lies, like throwing marbles in a bag. The first marbles are covered up and forgotten as more and more marbles are added. Lies pile upon lies until we've forgotten all the lies that we've told. We can't keep our story straight. How miserable and extremely difficult it is to live a lie, always lurking in the shadows, avoiding the light of truth, always hiding ourselves from our friends and those that we love, living in fear of being exposed, seeking large crowds, moving to large cities and distant places where we can live anonymously, where we can live our lie undetected. The source of every lie ever spoken was Satan himself. And Jesus said of him, when he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. And when we lie, we speak on behalf of the devil. We speak truth. We speak on behalf of God, who is incapable of lying. And when we speak truth, we represent Christ and the words that he has provided us in the book of truth. Sometimes speaking the truth is painful, but speaking the truth is always right. Lies are demeaning, destructive. Lies are weapons used to assassinate the character of others who are created in the image of God. So we must be able to discern the difference between what is true and what is false. We must ask, along with Pilate, who confronted Jesus with the most important question, what is truth? Pilate was so deceived and blinded by Satan, he He was looking truth in the face and didn't even know it. And Jesus responded to Pilate's question, "Everyone who hears me, he is of the truth." Pilate refused to accept the truth and proceeded to humiliate, torture, and crucify the truth. Os Guinness referred to our present culture when he said truth is any objective or absolute sense, truth that is independent of the mind of the knower no longer exists. Men are deeply deceived when they believe themselves to be the authors of truth. All truth, absolute truth, originates outside of ourselves. We cannot create truth. We can only discover truth. Dr. David Jeremiah relays a story of 3 baseball umpires who were discussing their various ways of umpiring. And one of them said, "There are balls and there are strikes, and I call them the way they are." And the second umpire said, "No, that's arrogant. There's balls and there's strikes, and I call them the way I see them." And the third umpire said, "No, why beat around the bush? Why not be realistic about what we do? There are balls and there are strikes, and they ain't nothing until we call them." Well, the first umpire represented the traditional biblical way of truth. It's objective. It is independent of the observer. It is to be discovered as it is. We call balls and strikes as they are. The second umpire represents a form of common relativism. This is a truth as each person sees it. People will often declare, "I don't see that is true, but I see that is false." And so everybody has their own truth. The third umpire boldly represents radical relativism. Truth is not to be discovered. It's for each of us to create for ourselves. The existence of absolute truth is denied. We get to create our own truth. What's true for you may not be true for me, but the truths that we hold are equally valid. I get to create my own truth as you get to create your own truth. Is that not a formula for chaos in our present world? Real, absolute, scriptural, divine truth corresponds with the position of the first umpire. Actual, absolute truth is found only in God, the God who declares himself the great I am. And Jesus said, "I am the way and the truth." He is the only way, and he is the only source of absolute truth. And when God commands that we shall not lie, he is commanding us to bind ourselves to truth and to devote ourselves to the truth, to Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for spending time with me in these last few moments. Please mark the like button and subscribe to Kevin's Corner if you enjoy material like this. And please hit the share button if you know of anyone that might benefit from this short message. Thank you so much. Have a good day.